Yo, what is up everyone? This is France over here from PlayerEssence.com and welcome to another episode of PlayerEssence Cross Nintendo. I do not have my laptop with me this time. I'm going to be going off my smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S5 today. So let's go ahead and get right into the news. So, amiibo. You guys all know about amiibo. It's very infamous at this point just because of the stock shortages and all of that in the West Coast port strike. But Nintendo of UK does say that they do plan on getting more stock and they are basically committed to doing that, but they did say that amiibo smashed their expectations of what they thought this was going to do and how popular it was going to be. Remember, these are not figures that are vital to actually playing the game like Skylanders and like Disney Infinity and like the upcoming Lego Dimensions. These things are just basically additional pieces that you can just get if you want them. But Nintendo stressed that they didn't think that people are going to want to collect them all. So here's what Nintendo of UK had to say on the matter. Right from the outset, we hoped that amiibo would be strong. But even our expectations have been smashed. With the unique lineup of iconic characters that are loved by so many people, it really has been unprecedented. We do hope to do a better job of satisfying these needs in the future with more stock. And while there are always going to be some times when we can't on certain characters, I suspect that it's also the part of the appeal. What we had anticipated was the number of collectors wanting to get all of them. This has seen demand exceed supply in some areas, although if you search around, you can still find some of the more hard to find amiibo sitting on shelves. Yeah, and I actually have to agree there, just because I walked into a couple different stores and picked up kind of hard to find amiibo. I walked into Walmart and picked up a Mega Man. I walked into GameStop and picked up a Sonic that you can see right behind there. I walked right into Target and picked up a Rosalina. So it's one of those things to where you just kind of have to be at the right place at the right time, and hopefully they have it. And if they don't, oh well, you kind of just go back and see if you can get it next time. None of these characters are ever vital to the actual game, and they're just toys in the end part. And that's kind of how I just see them, as little collectible toys that you don't really need, but they'd be nice to have if you can get them here and there. Hopefully Nintendo can work on the stock, and I like the fact that they are addressing the situation. And plus, the West Coast port strike, I think, is over with at this point, so Nintendo can finally recover getting back and getting more stock on those ships, just because that port strike really affected them. Alright, so we're going to be moving on to the second story here, and I usually don't do eShop sales charts, but I had to do this one because one of my favorite games has charted, and that is Xenoblade Chronicles 3D on the new Nintendo 3DS. So this is the North American eShop charts, and it actually placed number 2. Number 2 right behind Mario Kart 7, which has a special right now going on with Club Nintendo with free download codes. That's why it's number 1. But it's really interesting to see Xenoblade Chronicles 3D on there, because remember, this is a new Nintendo 3DS exclusive. This is not on the regular 3DS system, which is sold a boatload here in North America, Canada, and throughout. Basically, this is just selling to new Nintendo 3DS owners, and to see an exclusive for a system that probably has less than 2 million units out there is pretty impressive, and I'm actually really happy because it shows that people want these type of RPGs. And really, I think that's where Nintendo went wrong with Wii U, not over 3DS, because 3DS has so many great RPGs, but the Wii U does not. And hopefully this really jogs into Nintendo's head that people want these type of RPGs, and they are willing to rebuy the same game from the Wii. They're willing to rebuy it just so they can play it again at a premium price, $40. So I'm really happy with the game. I purchased it myself. It still looks great in 3D on the new Nintendo 3DS. And there has been a little bit of visual downgrades here and there, but overall it holds up well for how huge a game it is. So I'm really happy that it's number 2 on the charts, and hopefully it can continue to be successful, and that success leads to Xenoblade Chronicles X doing very well here in North America and in Japan. Alright, in the next bit of news here, Masahiro Sakurai says that he's creating more Super Smash Bros. DLC for the fans. So in his weekly column with Famitsu, Sakurai opened up about creating DLC. Quote, "It's a huge undertaking to create a fighter, so I think we can't make them in large quantities. I'd also like to feel refreshed when the project is over. However, since we have decided to tackle DLC once, I'd like to offer as much fun content as possible. It will take a while from now, but please look forward to it." So one of the big things that I want to stress here is that, like, Sakurai, and I know he's not hurting for money, but Nintendo said, hey, Super Smash Bros. Is probably our most popular franchise at this point. Between the 3DS and the Wii U, really no other game has done as well as Super Smash Bros. Other than Pokemon, really, that's the only other game that I could think of that's 10 million plus units combined between all the versions, between Wii U and Nintendo 3DS. I think there's Mario Kart is also super popular franchise, but as far as popularity among the core user base, Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U is right there. It's a very popular game, and Nintendo knows that they can make millions, if not possibly billions of dollars off of DLC sales, because that Mewtwo is about to get snapped up pretty soon here by a lot of different people for, what is it, $5 for both characters between the Wii U and the 3DS, and there's going to be Lucas, and there's going to be more characters, and people want that, and people are willing to spend a lot of money. And if you have a user base of 10 million plus people, even half of them buying that is so many millions, which is a lot of money that Nintendo could potentially leave off the table if they don't do DLC. And Sakurai, hey, I know he's probably not hurting for money, he's the creative Kirby and all, but hey, that money's going his way too. So it's good to see that Sakurai is going to be creating DLC. Hopefully he gets some time off in between, lets some of his underlings do some of the work, and so he's not really stressed out and doing so much of the work. But I think once the game is done and you're really working on DLC, all you have to really do is, you know, you make the character and then you have to do the balancing, but you don't have to create all the modes, you don't have to do all of that stuff over again. So maybe he can feel a little refreshed in between those parts. But overall, I'm really happy and I can't wait to see what DLC they do next. Alright, so that basically wraps it up for the regular topics for today, and next I'm going to go into the main topic, and that's really just going to be discussing where Nintendo goes from here, what I want to see from them in 2015, and what I think their 2015 is going to look like. So Nintendo in 2014, they had a strong second half of the year. Really, the first half was a little barren. We had Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and we had Mario Kart really for the core gamers, and that was it, other than indie titles sprinkled throughout here. And the last half was very good with Hyrule Warriors, with Bayonetta 2, with Super Smash Bros. Very good second half, but the first half was a little barren. So going into this year, it's kind of almost the same thing. It's a little light for me. I know people liked Kirby. I know that there was Mario Party, and Splatoon's coming out very soon here. So that's probably going to be the game that I'm really interested in, because I really like Splatoon. It looks good and I played it, love it. And Xenoblade Chronicles X should be coming over the summer at some points. But overall, I think Nintendo's 2015 is looking better than their 2014. And even though Zelda got delayed, I still think 2015 has a chance to be better than 2014. There's a couple of reasons why I think so. One, it's because the air of, I think, uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen. It creates kind of an excitement. And I think Devil's Third is one of those games that's really going to surprise. Itagaki has been really talking up this game. He says that it doesn't look anything like it looked beforehand when they showed it off at E3, which was a really early build of the game. He said that the graphics have improved. They're doing a lot of cool things with online play, but it doesn't seem like it's going to use the gamepad in crazy ways, because Itagaki himself even said that the Pro Controller might be the best option for players to use and when they play Devil's Third. So that's going to be interesting to see how they use the gamepad compared to how it is with the Pro Controller. Overall, I'm just excited to see and play the game. I also think Mario Maker could be a game that is so much just fun. Just being able to create the levels, and for me, I won't be creating them, but be able to download other people's levels, share them with friends, go through worlds, just have these crazy levels. I think that's going to be something that's really going to catch a lot of people by surprise, and they're going to end up buying the game and really loving it. Yoshi's Woolly World, I'm not 100% sold on, because it still seems a bit easy to me, and I know they talked about the casual mode and the non-casual mode, but I have to see more of that game. But I am looking forward to it. The art style is just gorgeous. But Xenoblade Chronicles X is probably the game that validates 2015 for me, just because it's such a huge, massive RPG that we've been waiting for since 2013, since they showed it off at that first Nintendo Direct. And I'm really looking forward to this game, and I think this is the game for me that says this is what the Wii U is about. As much as I love Mario Kart and Smash Bros and Bayonetta 2, all those games are better with the Pro Controller or the GameCube controller for me in Smash Bros. They don't validate the Wii U as a console. It's great games to have, and people, you know, for people to pick up the Wii U, but I still don't think it validates the controller, whereas Xenoblade Chronicles is something that really validates that controller. So I think that that is the defining game for me. And we still have secrets. We know Nintendo has some games up their sleeve. Next Level Games is working on a title, a secret title. What is that game? I think that game launches this year. Will it be an older IP? Could it be F-Zero? I think it might be. I think it might be F-Zero, because Next Level, they're known to take classic Nintendo franchises and make games out of them. They did Mario Strikers, they've done Luigi's Mansion. So I think that we could get an F-Zero from them, and if not an F-Zero, maybe a Golden Sun. What if they bring back a Golden Sun? Oh, that would just be fantastic. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Also, looking at Nintendo's 2015, I think there's going to be some big shakeups in their system and their OS with Nintendo 3DS and the Wii U, just because of the whole DNA and all that. I mean, that's coming later this year, the first smartphone game, the new replacement for Club Nintendo. That's going to be a big undertaking. What is Nintendo going to do with that? Because they need to win back gamers here. And as much as people say that, oh, it's dead, Wii U, it can't do anything. No, you could always do something. So if they come out strong and show people, hey, we've got these new features, we've got this and that, plus these really cool games like Devil's Third, like a new Next Level games project, maybe even Retro's project, that they show it off. It's probably not releasing this year. And you combine that with some of the games that's already on the system, plus like a Xenoblade and a Yoshi's Woolly World and a Splatoon, it looks more appealing for the Wii U, just for a little bit more of game diversity. Just because I think that the Wii U, while it has great game diversity, there are a lot of platformers and mini game collections, and getting some more RPGs on the system and getting a few more racers on the system might help out. So it's going to be interesting to see how Nintendo and how consumers react to Nintendo's 2015. I think they're off to a pretty good start so far for people who like those type of games, and I think Splatoon's really going to kick things into overdrive. And Yoshi's Woolly World comes out in June in Europe. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of it plays out. Let me know what you guys think about Nintendo's 2015 so far. And please hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know that you guys want more episodes of Player Essence Cross Nintendo every single week. Also, subscribe if you're someone new, because right here on Player Essence, you're going to get gaming discussions, you're going to get shows, you're going to get all sorts of news across Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. Hit that description down below just so you can see all your news, reviews, trailers, tips, and tricks on PlayerEssence.com. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we will see you for the next episode. Peace.